In our first story, talking about what could be preventable, bedbugs. And they have invaded some senior high schools in the Volta region, according to our correspondent, forcing some students to sleep in dining rooms. Well, we have Ivy Setoji on the line. And, well, can you please describe the situation and how severe it is in many of the schools you visited?
Yeah, the situation is worrying, as many of the schools I visited, some also in the southern part of the Volta region, are forced to sleep outside, some in their dining halls, classrooms, and other places. More worrying is the fact that they even sleep on the lawn outside. So the students are really going through a lot, according to what they told me. They said they can't sleep at night. They can't do anything. Even when they go to class the following day, they cannot study because their body itch and they cannot concentrate. So the situation is very worrying, and until the authorities do something about it, these innocent students will keep on experiencing this thing.
If you say schools in the Volta region, how many of them? Because it makes it sound as if the majority of the senior high schools in the Volta region have been having these very difficulties.
Yeah, some of the schools are not senior high school, Kesa Senior High School, Mauli Senior High School, Awusko, Mauko Senior High School, Ola Girls. Those are some of the schools that are going through this problem, and there are other schools unconfirmed too, but for now, these are some of the schools going through this problem.
Bedbugs, quite interesting. Looking at the distances apart among these various schools or between these various schools, how does it become possible that there's bedbug in one school? You travel several kilometers and it is still affecting the next school?
Well, according to the people I interviewed, some of them attributed to the fact that during vacations, some churches or groups of people camp in these various schools for their conventions and other things. So these people eat in the dormitories and thereby leaving foods and other things, making it possible for these bedbugs to enter the dormitory. So it's not as if, because of that, it has affected most of the schools in the region because of this, because you see churches during the vacation going to have their conventions. And others also attributed to the fact that the dormitories are not kept neat, and students also eat in the various dormitories.
So it's more because of a sanitation issue. But how long has this been going on?
According to them, for some years. Some of the schools for 3 years. Some of the schools started last term or 2 terms. So it depends on the school.
Wow. Very interesting. And, well, we hope that you get the medical side of things for us so that at least we can get some scientific explanation to this very phenomenon, since it's not only happening in one school. And Ivy Setoji is our correspondent in the Volta region. Now, let's move our attention to a lot more security issues, because the police administration says it has forwarded files on DCOP Patrick Timbila and other officers who were implicated in last year's police recruitment scandal to the Attorney General's department. The police service was last year rocked with a recruitment scandal involving hundreds of prospective recruits who were disappointed they could not be employed into the service after they had parted with thousands of Ghana cedis. The Director of Human Resource Administration for the Ghana Police Service, DCOP Patrick Timbila, and other officers were, as a result, interdicted after a probe into the scam. Currently, the Director of Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service, Superintendent Cephas Arthur, has been explaining issues to Joy News.
The files being sent to the AG is one of the major directives given to the police administration by the Police Council. And if I should enumerate them again, 1, the police officers amongst the suspects should be kept still on interdiction, which is being complied with. And you bear me witness that those officers, including Mr. Timbila that you mentioned, are not working. Two, we should make haste and forward the case docket to the Attorney General's office for advice, which we have done. And three, we should conduct service inquiry, our internal justice or disciplinary proceedings into the conduct of the police officers amongst them, which we are doing, and which I can assure you that before long the results will come out. This is a matter that about 2,000 and more individuals are involved. This is a matter that you need concrete evidence to prove your case. And just as it happens in the court, people don't hurry about handling cases like that. And they do so, they take their time to do it so as to ensure that nothing wrong is done against anybody.
The Interior Minister Mark Wayongo has confirmed that the Buna region has been identified as one of the hotspots to pay some special attention to ahead of this year's general elections. The region has witnessed a number of violent clashes and activities over a period of time, with some security experts warning it has to be given a lot more attention. Beatrice Edu has the rest of the story.
Last year, some security experts expressed concerns the Buna region needed a special security attention. They observed the region has become notorious for chieftaincy disputes, murders, and politically motivated violence. For instance, the chief of Sekwa was murdered in 2013. The incident occurred as the chief, Nana Kweku Ankwana II, relaxed on the porch of his private residence after he had returned from a function to climax the annual traditional festival. The violence in the region has since snowballed. In August last year, at least 3 people died in Kwapon in a violent attack launched by the youth against the police officers there over a controversial arrest. The police had to evacuate the station over fears of being attacked and refused to return to post until the ringleaders had been arrested. In September 2015, a reporter with Peace FM was shot dead by assailants. This incident put fear in some of the journalists who claimed they were being targeted. In October same year, customers of DKM, a microfinance company in Sunyani, vandalized the premises of the company and attacked staff over unpaid deposits. It took police intervention to restore calm. Just last month, the regional minister, Eric Opoku, expressed worry there were increasing numbers of murder cases, with 37 cases in 2014 as compared to 34 in 2009. A 3-year-old daughter of a worker of microfinance institution in Brekum was kidnapped by an aggrieved customer, and a radio station in Nkranza was shut down after customers of another microfinance company attacked the company over unpaid claims. Given the escalation of violence, the Interior Minister says it has a strategy to ensure that insecurity does not spiral out of control.
The security agencies have identified, or they are identifying, the flashpoints, and they are going to step up security in those areas.
Mark Wayongo is the Interior Minister. One of the High Court judges implicated in the judicial bribery scandal, Justice Paul Utaderi, has withdrawn a contempt suit he brought against a fellow judge, Justice Gertrude Tokonu. Justice Derry was challenging a decision by the Court of Appeal to rule on a matter involving him without notice to him or his lawyers.
Late last year, Justice Utaderi sued 5, including the Media Foundation for West Africa, for passing comments on his alleged involvement in the Anas Aremeya corruption scandal, although the matter was yet to be determined by the committee set up to investigate the matter. Appeals Court Judge Gertrude Tokonu subsequently dismissed the contempt application against them. Gertrude Tokonu subsequently had to overturn her decision after Justice Derry had challenged that verdict in court, arguing that he had not been heard at all on the matter. The panel of Supreme Court judges who sat on the matter asked Justice Derry's lawyer to justify why he brought a contempt suit against a judge. He clearly struggled to justify that when they pointed to Article 127, Clause 3 of the Constitution, which states that no judge shall be liable to a suit when he or she commits an omission in the discharge of his or her duties. After failing to convince the court, Nick Papuado had no choice but to withdraw the suit. The substantive matter is set to be heard on the 20th of January. Kwachi Afreniama for Joy News.
For the first time in 8 years, the Chief Justice Georgina Theodorewu decided not to give her keynote address at the swearing-in ceremony of lawyers in Accra. And the Chief Justice says she deliberately passed on the baton to the President of the Judges and Magistrates Council and the Director of the Judicial Training Institute. And so, in his speech, Justice Dennis Ajay said the announced judicial corruption expose was very much exaggerated by the media.
Or shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my official duty.
The swearing-in started with a directive by the Chief Justice for a recitation of the National Pledge.
Now, one other new procedure I introduced today is to invite all of us to recite the National Pledge. I hope it was not just a mere recitation, but one from the heart. I thought so. I saw the need for us to seriously address and apply the words that appear in our National Pledge only this morning.
In his address, the President of the Association of Magistrates and Judges, Justice Dennis Ajay, noted that for the first time, they took initiatives to critically screen appointees to the council.
It is the first time in living memory where it was published in the dailies the names of persons to be appointed as circuit judges and magistrates for the entire citizenry to submit adverse comments against them, if any. Hitherto, only nominees to the Supreme Court had their names published in the dailies for comments to enable Parliament to properly vet them. The publication of the names of those to be appointed was introduced presumably to address the call by some individuals for the need to conduct background checks on people to be appointed as judges and magistrates. It is a useful exercise, and the Judicial Council must be commended for introducing the participation of both citizens and non-citizens in the appointment of judges and magistrates of all levels. The good people of Ghana should take advantage of this innovation to the appointment of judges and magistrates to help weed out people who lack integrity and therefore not eligible to be appointed as judges and magistrates.
His speech also largely focused on the announced expose that rocked the country last year and its impact. He noted that the indictment of the few judges in the expose was exaggerated by the media to implicate all judges.
There is no doubt that the recent announced expose has painted the judiciary black in the eyes of the world. At the time of the expose, there were 400 judges and magistrates in the country, and 34 of that number were indicted, that is 8.5%. Out of the 12 High Court judges who were indicted, 2 had retired, and the preliminary investigation by the Chief Justice exonerated one of them, and it is the case of the remaining 9 judges which are pending. One of the 22 lower judges were also exonerated, and the remaining 21 were dismissed. The above analysis discloses that those indicted by the expose were 8%. I shall not condone corruption, but I am of the considered opinion that the indictment of 8.5% by the expose was over-exaggerated to include all judges and magistrates. The percentage of judges who were indicted was a minute fraction of the judiciary, and it is unfair to tag the entire judiciary as corrupt. We do not support those who were engaged in the act, but you should not tag everybody. After all, 91.5% were not tagged.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
We'll see how that goes, classification and tagging. But let's look at this. Ghana Private Road Transport Union, the GPRTU, has again failed to come up with new transport fares to be charged by its members. A meeting on Thursday with the Transport Ministry to fix the fares ended without a mutual decision. GPRTU Chairman Kwame Nkrumah says the unions asked for more time to arrive at an ideal fare range, which will also include recent hikes in DVLA fees, insurance premiums, and other transport-related fees.
Only yesterday, we heard that the insurance has increased again, and at the same time, they are coming to make a toll also is going to increase, and road wages. If that is happening, we can today sit down and make some increment, and tomorrow another thing will come because of the increment of the insurance and additional. That is supposed for us to sit down and make everything. Revive everything and meet again. Because of that, you have scheduled a meeting to 14th of January in today's week for us to come and meet and finish everything. So I will plead with the drivers that they should extra patient.
But you're asking them to have patience. Meanwhile, they are buying the fuel at the high price. They are paying for the DVLA at the high price. They are paying for that insurance. A week of waiting is still a long time when it's in terms of money.
I know that, but all of us let's think about Ghana first. They are coming to make increment with the toll. So all these things, we're supposed to sit down and factor everything inside. So if you come with the price, it will help us to make this thing. Because of that, we are pleading that everybody should extra patient for us to do the right thing.
But as of now, do you have any range, a percentage range that you think the increment might fall within?
Oh, I'll plead with you. You know, the percentage we know, but you know we are now bragging for with the negotiation with the ministries. It won't be fine for me to come out and say that so and so. It won't be other way for us.
Another chairman of the GPRTU, Kwame Nkrumah, and logically, their members have not been very much amused or happy with the delay in announcing the new fares. Some who spoke with Joy News on the Tema station here in Accra are currently threatening to go ahead and charge their own fares if no solution is reached.
Because insurance, raising insurance, spare parts, the same thing.
The lorry fares must go up now. Insurance, spare parts, oil have all gone up. They should have waited for us to agree on a price before increasing them. We cannot bear the extra cost of fuel. We don't have that spirit to wait.
Diesel plus no here ba no na ka no fe plus no kan oh na nyina ya fine but mo ntwe no wonder about there ntwe there na ho na boka copy tam na mba increase no ni so twe hu no ya ni bi ba cho ye ntimi first mo tutu fuel mo a on be tutu mo be she bibia wie no fe.
We simply cannot understand. I was buying 50 cedis of fuel for one trip to the mountains. I buy 70 now, and the lorry owners won't accept a reduction in their sales.
One me 1 week party me here no watch ya say as e ka say tia say enye yi so on committee not to fuel enye yi say first na ga hanma.
Fuel price hikes used to come in unison with fare increases. What happened now? My car owner won't understand me at all. We cannot wait for a week.
Less than the season called
Very interesting. We know many of these drivers are voters, and so they're part of the general electorate of our country. And talking about voting and elections, a pressure group, the Progressive Nationalist Forum, is demanding the resignation of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Charlotte Osei. The group claims she's in breach of the Constitution because she's currently holding another public office. According to the group, Madam Charlotte Osei, as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, is also a board member of the Ghana Reinsurance Company Limited.
The Ghana Reinsurance confirms that Madam Osei, before her appointment as EC chair and since her appointment, has remained a member of the board of the company. The Progressive Nationalist Forum says it is therefore giving her the option to quit one of the jobs with immediate effect as stipulated under Article 44, Clause 4. Spokesperson of the group, Richard Nyama, explained what the group intends to do.
I'm not just claiming. I have evidence to the effect that Madam Charlotte Osei, after being sworn in as the chairman of the Electoral Commission, has still held her post as a board member of the Ghana Reinsurance Company Limited. In actual fact, if you go to their website as you and I speak, it is on there. The 2016 diary of the Ghana Reinsurance Company has her name in there as a board member. I'm aware that she chairs the subcommittee on auditing at Ghana Reinsurance.
Okay.
Just from a sister program where Ghana Re, through their secretary, Mrs. Alote, has confirmed that yes, she has been until 30th of December. She contradicted herself since as of today, 7th of January. But be that as it may, point is that if she even resigned on the 30th of December, between 1st July and as you and I speak, she has broken the law. I'm asking her to reimburse all that monies to the state chest. Resign either of the positions she wants to hold, but she can't hold the two.
The Electoral Commission is yet to officially comment on the matter.
And there's been a swift response from the Ghana Reinsurance Company as the board secretary of the company, Jessica Alote, speaking on Ekusi saying on Asempa FM, says the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Charlotte Osei, resigned as a board member in December 2015.
I can confirm to you that as at 7 January, that's today's date, isn't it? She is no longer a member of the Ghana Reinsurance Board. She's not a director of Ghana Re. She's no longer a director of Ghana Re. I can tell you that at the end of December, she was not a director of Ghana Re. And that is all I can say now, because unfortunately I'm not very well. I don't want to talk too much.
But as of December last year, she resigned as a member of the board.
2015, yes, she was no longer a director of Ghana Re. And I'm so sorry this is going on, but I can assure you that the transformation that she has brought into the company while serving on the board is immeasurable. That is the only thing that I can see.
Certainly, Madam Alote, we will come there. But are you aware that as we speak, Madam Charlotte Osei is still a member of the board as contained on your website?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. You know, we have just returned from the holidays. We are updating our website. So the IT manager is currently working on it. They are updating the website. You know, some of these things are not easily corrected. And I think that with the diaries too, you know, these things you need to do them way ahead of time. So there's nothing you can do about it. And that is why you find her still there. But I can tell you categorically that she's no longer a director of the company, and I wouldn't want to talk too much on that, if that is okay with you.
Would you be kind to tell us who are the members of the board today as we speak?
Well, as we speak, the only directors, actually we have two vacancies on the board. We have Mr. Wilson Terry, he is a seasoned retired insurer. Then we have Mr. Mohammed Yakubu, he's a private person, he's a banker, I would say an investment banker. And then we have Ms. Marian Mensah from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. She's representing the interests of the ministry. And then we have our two non-executive directors, that is the Deputy Managing Director and the Managing Director. These are currently the members of the board. Currently, we have two vacancies. I've written to the Ministry of Finance for them to fill the vacancies.
Well, so the website and the diaries that still contains a name are going to be changed, or because the diaries have already been printed anyway. So what are you going to do about it?
Well, that's because, you know, the money is involved. We have a very transparent procurement process here. We went through various procurement processes to get these diaries printed. You know, so to go back, we would need another budget to do that. We haven't budgeted for that. So I don't know, but we will take it up at the management level to see what to do. Like I explained to you, we are updating the website. We will take down the details of Mrs. Charlotte Osei from our website because she's no longer a director. She's not the only one. The former chairman also resigned. He's no longer a director. And we will update our website accordingly.
Was she paid any form of allowances when she
I cannot go into that.
While she served as a director?
A director, like any director, fees are paid, but I don't want to go into that. like I'm saying, she's no longer a director, and I would want that emphasized, please, because, you know, we want to make sure that we give comfort to the companies that we work with locally and internationally. We are in a very serious process now, and we need to be sure that our international partners and our local partners are very comfortable with Ghana Re. So I'll be very grateful if you allow me to leave it at that. Just note that she's no longer a director, please.
And so we'll bring you a lot more updates on this very subject in the course of the program and the rest of the programming we have on the channel for the day. But many of you have been giving us a lot more of your comments on our WhatsApp platform. I want to read a couple of them. I have this one from Christopher, who is giving us this very message from Adaklu. He says, good morning, Joy News. When fuel prices decrease, drivers refuse to reduce their fares. When they also increase, they are now anxious to increase. And he concludes with the phrase, God is watching. Let's look at what you are also thinking about. And this one is a thought from Silas from Saboba. He thinks Andrew Ayew should have won the African Cup of African Player of the Year at the GloCAF Awards that took place in Abuja, Nigeria. And then we'll conclude with this very Apunka inspiration. And it says, good morning, family. There will often be times when you feel totally inadequate or unprepared. Choose to exalt your potential above your feelings. True. I think I agree with you, Ahumka. And that will be it for the comments we're relaying to you. Indeed, we have a lot more of those comments on our WhatsApp platform. And you can always get a lot more through that very platform on the number 056800,000. But next, Gladys already will be joining me. We'll be looking at what the stories are on the front and back pages of the newspapers. They've been summarized on the news portal, myjoyonline.com. We'll also be looking at a lot more of the website, City FM. We'll go to other FM, Star FM Online. We'll also go to the BBC. We'll go to CNN and the other ones. Do stay on. We're taking a break. When we come back, the newspapers and the headlines for you.